Well, receiving the Felton Award for human services and for service in this field, it means a lot to me.
We thought we had the recovery model down, and then we got Mental Health Services Act funding for our 3 full-service partnerships. And we took all the employees and most of the management team down to the Village in Los Angeles. Village is a program run by Mental Health America of Los Angeles. It was started by our Kitty Felton Awardee, whom you're going to meet, and it completely transformed the way we thought about mental health services. To see a program that was so fundamentally built on the model of people's involvement in their own recovery and people's direction of their own recovery. It was truly transformative. And it's one of those moments that you don't get that many times in a career. And our awardee was the one who was responsible for everybody, and everybody who came on that trip felt the same way. And it was our awardee tonight who was responsible for that transformation in our own vision.
Thank you, Bob, for saying those kind things about me. No. It's not me he was talking about. It is with great pleasure that I have the distinction of presenting the first annual Kitty Felton Award for outstanding contributions in human services. Catherine Kitty Felton, our namesake, was a pioneer who dedicated her entire life to the sick, poor, and downtrodden. San Francisco in the late 1800s was renowned for its great wealth, progressiveness, and industry. But it was also a city that had its share of poverty, particularly among neglected and orphaned children. It was Kitty Felton's humanity and steadfast determination to speak up for these silent voices that gave rise to the modern-day concept of social services in the United States. She advocated, lobbied, fundraised, and provided hands-on care to some of the most vulnerable members of society. Kitty used her own money, and being from a wealthy family, that was virtually unheard of at that time. In 2014, after 125 years, Family Service Agency of San Francisco changed its name to the Felton Institute in honor of Kitty Felton. Felton Institute is immensely proud of Kitty's legacy of charity and advocacy, and tonight we honor an outstanding individual who embodies the spirit and legacy of Kitty Felton. Richard Van Horn has been at the forefront of improving conditions for adults and young adults with mental illness through service innovation, system design, and public policy change.
I got involved with mental health issues early on, seeing people in pastoral situations who needed help and weren't getting it. And then I got involved as a volunteer with the Mental Health Association in Los Angeles. And because I'm one of those people, and maybe in this way like Kitty Felton, who does the things they're responsible for and follows through, I ended up being board chair. And then I realized this agency was in trouble.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a big round of applause for the recipient of the first annual Kitty Felton Award for Outstanding Contributions in Human Services, Richard Van Horn.
So I volunteered to take over the staff position and then sorted out, how do you grow something? How do you develop from almost nothing to really understand what it is to innovate? I'd been teaching innovation in a sense for the church, but what I ended up doing with MHA was really trying to find out, did the things I had been trying to teach congregations actually work? Could I make them happen? And it's been an adventure for the last 30 years plus. And I think as I read about Kitty Felton, I thought, oh man, this is my kind of woman. She is something else, because not only did she innovate, but she put her own fortune behind it, her own hard-earned cash or hard come-by cash, however she got it. I gather she was from a prominent family, so there was some money in back of her. But it was a question of looking for the problem that nobody had solved and going after it. And that to me is a major motivation. And that's probably what makes me proudest to be getting this award, is that that's really what I've tried to pattern the last 35 years of my life on, is going after problems that nobody's dealing with or not dealing with adequately, and saying, let's go do it. I think that's what Kitty did.
I want to say thank you to all of you. This is a great event. I love this venue. I love the art here. I love meeting you. Ira Oken was one of my mentors as I got into this, recognized what Ira was doing to bring this agency back to life in the late 70s and early 80s. Dick Shadoan is somebody I've known for this whole time, a psychiatrist who is a true advocate. So you're in company of great folks here, and I thank you very much.